this job to be the project manager out here?
Well, it started about 3.5 years ago. I've been working on a new police station project since about 1988, and I had most of the knowledge about what was going on in the history. So the town was required to have a project manager on board even before they could go out to bid. Once you start designing, you have to have a project manager, and that's the state law. So a project manager for a project of this size would have been upwards of about $500,000. So the town, trying to save some money, said, well, let's try and do it in-house. It worked out well with Jeff Willett, who was the project manager at the Surfside wastewater treatment plant. So they asked if I would do it. I'm not even sure if I was asked. I might have been told I was doing it, but it made a lot of sense. I had the knowledge of budgeting and project management. I've run a few other multi-million-dollar projects for the town, so, you know, and to clear something up, there's been some debate that a project manager is not a clerk of the works. A clerk of the works is not a function that municipal projects have anymore. You know, it's the project superintendent is from the general contractor, and I represent the town as the project manager, and I make sure the bills are getting paid, and that if there's any questions regarding the design, to refer them back to the architect. I'm more of the middleman and a coordinator. I'm not telling people how to bang nails or where something goes. That's a part of the general contractor because he's bid the job and he has to build it according to the specifications. My job is if there's a conflict amongst any of the trades, I'm the referee and I get the answers or get the engineers working on it when there is a problem. Well, there's been a few, but we've been working through it and it's been going very smooth. Right now, we're ahead of schedule and a little bit below budget right now.
So this is a good-sized building.
It is. It's a large building, and you know, a lot of people in the community were saying it's too big. Well, one of the things to remember is that from this front entrance to the west is all public meeting space. There's a dedicated public meeting room on the first floor for 90 people. It's set up, proper seating, it's handicap accessible. We've got audio and it's set up for TV. On the second level, there's another meeting room that can be used for a smaller public meeting. So about 10,000 square feet of this building right now is dedicated for public space. Also, the design is designed to bring us at least hopefully for 100 years into the future. It's not designed for today's need for Nantucket. We're looking forward, trying to plan for the future, looking 10, 20, 30, 50 years into the future. You know, if you look back at the history of Nantucket, I don't think they've designed a building that 20 years later was adequate to the needs. You know, they're always expanding, always it's too small. You can look back to, I think, every municipal project, including the town building we built in 1964, 20 years later, in 1984, they were talking about enlarging it. So we're trying to stay ahead of that curve and do it once and do it right. You know, we've got 50% of this building is paid for by other money. You know, the hit to the taxpayer here for this building is about $7 million. About 50% of this project has already been paid for. So we're moving forward on that, and we're still looking for further money for grants to even lower that hit to the taxpayer. So also, one thing to remember with this building, it's originally designed for a public safety facility, which included the police and the fire department. We cut out the fire department to save some money in their overall project to reduce the costs. But all this building is designed to allow the fire department to just add right on. You know, the mechanical systems are properly sized for the fire station to be added on, and where I'll show you when we get inside, the fire department can hook right onto this building without altering this building at all. The site layout is already done, so in the future, if the voters of the town decide to relocate the fire department to here, we can easily incorporate that design into this building. We've got the plans, it's already done, they just need the money for it. But we won't have to do any major infrastructure improvements to this building to add the fire department on at a later time. This is this forward planning that we've been trying to do to address the needs, again, of the future. So we want to come inside, we'll be looking right here at the front entrance. Again, we're walking in the front door, and it's an open space, but again, if anyone's been downtown to the police station in the summertime, you can't even fit anybody in the lobby there. So these two windows that are knocked out, this one would be available to sell permits or beach permits or get records. Yep. The other windows where the central dispatch, the police dispatcher, fire dispatcher would be in this area in here.
Okay.
You know, and this is all set up. You know, it's got a little sunken floor, and there's a computer floor that goes in there for all the equipment.
Stop that. Now I got you. All right.
So if you just look straight ahead through here, this is where the fire department would add on. This little storage room at the end is just, you know, space they added on here. There's two bathrooms left, public facilities left and right, men's and women's room. But if the fire department was ever to be added on here, it would just connect seamlessly to this end of the building.
Now, what about selling the downtown police building?
Well, they're not going to sell the downtown building.
They're not.
They're not. That building's not going to be sold. The tentative plan right now is to do a rehab of that building for office space. We're going to have a police presence down there, you know, so there'll be a little front area for police presence. Offices, I think, that are in the Mooney building, the plan is to move them into that building on 20 South Water Street, and the Mooney building may be surplused out at some for a future time.
That would help.
You know, but again, it's all tentative, and I'm not in a position to speak officially on that, but that's what's been talked about.
What would happen if we got rid of the fire department and opened and sold that property?
And that was original plan to sell it to the Stop and Shop, and there was a $6 or $7 million offer, bantied back and forth. You know, it was never official, but, and that would have funded part of this project. But, you know, we'll see what.
How much more is it going to cost to have the fire department?
It will be probably $7, $8 million, I would think. You know, it all depends. You know, we did a lot of the work here already for that. Now it's just to add the fire portion on. So all the mechanical has already been included into this building. Just watch your step. Stop drilling holes. Over here. Through here, this is the public meeting room.
Wow, it's huge.
It's got a floor. It's designed for 90 people, and it's auditorium seating.
Yes, it is.
Auditorium seating like you see in the high school, same type of seating. It's going to be Wi-Fi for computer. Each chair will have a plug for a laptop computer. If they want to be here. The front area where the little flat spot is a meeting spot. You can put a table for up to 12 people up there. So you could have your planning board, you could have any kind of meeting you want in here. You know, there's 90 seats, there's 2 aisles, and there's 90 seats that come up. It's fully handicap accessible. There'll be cameras mounted in the ceiling that can film and broadcast the meetings. This little room here is like a video control room, so all the sound and audio, video will come into this room in here. So it's all going to be wired, you know, to a broadcast sort of standard that, you know, we can have a real broadcast of a meeting.
And it's all, the cable company's already linked to everything?
Yep. No, it's going to be. It's going to be. It's part of that, part of the plan.
Great.
You know, it's this is a one dedicated meeting space. You know, and when we figured we were going to build a building, let's try and accommodate the needs. At the time when we hear that the school is going to close down, they won't have any meeting space there. We've all had meetings over in the garage at 2 fairgrounds. You know, the town has no proper meeting space, so we try to address the needs in this building. I think we've done a pretty good job. Hopefully everyone likes it when we're done.